Reading from Loving Simone. But first, before we start her live reading, let's chat with Jessica a minute. Jessica is the founder of Express Yourself Publishing. Express Yourself Publishing won the 2008 Publishing House of the Year Award. Let's give Jessica a hand for a great job. Jessica has how many authors? 25. She has 25 authors producing quality literature. So we're going to talk to her a minute about how she got her start, and then Jessica is making a huge comeback this year with Loving Simone. We're going to jump right into that. Let's see that beautiful cover, Jessica. Loving Simone. So let's talk about Jessica Tillis, the publisher. Jessica, what made you take that leap from being the famous author of In My Sister's Corner to publish?
My very first author, Bill Holmes, who's the author of One Love, he approached me in 2006, the beginning of 2006, asking me to publish his book. I was like, no, I've heard horror stories. I don't want to publish anybody. I don't want nobody talking about me, that kind of thing. Because some authors can be ruthless if, they feel like they aren't being done right by their publisher. So after, he pushed and I said, okay. So he was my first author, and I liked it. I liked publishing other authors. I like helping other authors as much as I can. I just like helping people, period, who want to get started in the publishing business. And then after Bill, then came Kenda Bell, who both Bill and Kenda made the Essence bestsellers list, and then Mackenzie, and so on and so on and so on. And Anastasia Brooks Harris is one of my authors as well, and yeah, author of Sins of the Past. And of course, another author was here, Baba Evans Moore, walking around, strutting around, making a mess with everything. But that's Baba. And I've just been going forward ever since, and it's definitely something you have to have a love for doing and a passion.
So Jessica, I know from being your publicist for a while that Loving Simone is your baby. You've been working on this for a while. You took a back seat for a number of years to promote your authors. So how challenging has it been for you to get back in the game?
Very challenging. It's almost like, there's this saying that if you're an author, you should put out a book once a year. Because if you don't, because that book really only has a 1-year shelf life. If you don't, people forget about you. And even after Loving Simone was released in March, people who have read it have already asking for the next book. It's like, give me time, I gotta write the next book. But it's been very difficult. It really has. I was telling Trice earlier that I feel like I've been out of the game for 2 years. I feel lost. I don't know what's going on because I've been so engulfed in my authors that I don't know how to pay attention to Jessica Tillis, the author, anymore. So I'm I guess learning about myself as an author all over again. So it's been hard, but I also take care of my 84-year-old father who has dementia. I take care of him full time. So that right there does not allow me to get out and travel about as much as I'd like to. But it's been difficult, but I love it. Love it.
Fantastic. We can tell by the quality of your work. So Jessica, tell us about Loving Simone. What's going on?
Well, Loving Simone is my 8th novel. Well, actually my 7th novel. I have I also did an erotic anthology, but Loving Simone is contemporary fiction, and I'm known for my erotica, so I'm not as hot, nasty, and raw in this book. It has heat. It has just enough heat, but I would really consider it what do you call it, romance erotica or something like that. But Loving Simone is the story of Simone, who is desperately seeking answers to her why she's having issues with her marriage, why her husband is sleeping around with a lot of different women, and she's also trying to find her sexual identity.
Okay, so set the scene.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know which chapter to read. This is actually my first time reading Loving Simone since its release, so I'm going to do what you're not supposed to do. You know, this will be my copy. So I'm going to start with the first chapter, and it starts off with Simone receives a phone call from one of Jackson's women. Okay. Who is this? Why are you answering Jackson's phone? Simone gently placed the handset back in its cradle. Sighing, she closed her eyes and idly ran her fingers along its wide base. She loved those old phones. They reminded her of her grandmother's house with the large antique furniture covered with doilies and lace. The telephone table with the neat little phone book and the wide, old-fashioned circular rotary phone. Unable to find one likened to her grandmother's, the push-button version was the closest she could come. Glancing at her nails, maybe if she pilfered aside another $20 from this week's pay, she could get a manicure. Maybe.